welcome to Eyes on Luna. I'm Alice. I'm going to do a little story from Tarot card about 17. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, share the video. Thank you for sending me message, book a private reading from me. Thank you for all your donation, your kindness, and your support. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, please do and connect with me on social media. I'm still working on the website too. And all other information about Eyes on Luna, you can find it in the description. And now let's go to your reading. Hi Capricorn, welcome to Eyes on Luna. This is a little story about you in 17. Don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, and please just take the good message, work for you, and leave what doesn't work for you, okay? Okay, let's see what we've got here for Capricorn. Story about Capricorn. Tell me a story about Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. I see that maybe some of you been in the still mode for a while. Okay, maybe you put on guard for quite long time, like long term. It's been a while. Maybe you try to pull up your guard, don't want to see the fact, don't want to accept the reality, don't want to accept the changes that you have in your life. Maybe you have this problem, or maybe you lose someone, or maybe you just separate with someone, or you may be having a problem with someone in your past, and then you still cannot accepting the fact that they are leaving you, or maybe you still cannot let go something, and it makes you feeling depressed, feeling frustration, like it keep like a nightmare in your head, that every time you're trying to fix something that doesn't work anymore in the past, okay? And you carry that burden, you carry that things, and it's not getting easier, it's getting harder by the time, because maybe you're trying to fix the thing, or maybe you're trying to fix maybe you already separate with someone, and then you're trying to get them back. Maybe you're trying to fix the problem. Maybe you're trying to reach them, but they're not accepting you. Or maybe they already move on with their life, but you still cannot accept that things. You still cannot accept the reality that they already move on with their life. Or maybe in the other way around, maybe you already move on with your life, but your partner cannot accept it. But what I see here, I'm sorry to say, I see here that you probably, it is you. Maybe it's not for all of the Capricorn, but what I see in this story is about some of you Capricorn, okay? And what I see, you probably like feeling like, no, I cannot accept it. No, I cannot live without them. I cannot go on without them. I'm still in love with them. I'm still like, you put all the blame into yourself, and then you are trying to fix things by like beating yourself every day. But even though you're doing that things, the other parties no longer accept that things. They don't want to be with you, maybe, okay? So they are move on with with their life. But you still like, maybe it's been quite a long, for some of you Capricorn, you are trying to forget someone, you're trying to letting go someone, you're trying to accept that, but it's not easy. I can understand that. It's never been easy to let somebody go, someone, especially that you love them very much. But if we already put a lot of our effort, okay, if we are trying, and then it's maybe it takes some time, it takes a long time. Maybe for some of you, you've been dealing with this case, like you've been dealing with this problem. You are trying to reach them. You're trying to fix the relationship for maybe not only for a couple of weeks, maybe for a couple of months, okay? But they doesn't open their heart for you. They already close it. They already closed the door. They're already walking out through that door, okay? It is hard. You're probably mad at me, but you know, it's time for you to move on too, because they're move on with their life, and you got to move on with your life. I know it's hard. I know it's not easy, but until when? Even though you are maybe, oh, maybe you see that they're not with somebody else. Maybe you see they're still single. Maybe you see maybe sometimes they still replying your message. Maybe sometimes they're still accepting your phone. But when you get into that talk, okay, about your relationship, or maybe about your feeling with them, they are like cutting it off, like, and you have to accept it. You have to see the reality. You have to be like accepting that maybe they only want to be friends. They no longer want to have that spatial relationship with you. It's hard, okay? Or maybe they don't want to say that they already have someone, or they already get close to someone, because they don't want to hurt you. But maybe even though they say it, they know that you will not accept it. You will keep pushing them. You will keep trying, okay? This is for some of Capricorn, not all of you, okay? So this card is suggesting you, for those of you who stuck in this kind of situation, you've got to accept it's about accepting the situation, accepting the changes, accepting the reality, the fact, okay? Sometimes we have that tendency to close our eyes, to not wanting to see the truth about something that wouldn't work, that we cannot fix. Not everything we can fix, right? But it doesn't mean it's the end of everything. You still have a long way to go. You still have a long way to live, to do something else, to be in love with someone else, to be with someone. Because what I see here, probably some of you this is for some of Capricorns, okay? Maybe for some of you, you are keep dwelling with your past, keep dwelling with your problems. You still like pull, like you were building a big thick wall that no one can enter it, okay? Maybe there are someone there that trying to knocking on your door, but you are not put any door to let someone to enter your life. Maybe you're just only building all the walls around you, that so no one can enter your life, no one can enter your heart. For some of you Capricorn, okay, not all of you. For some of the Capricorn also, maybe for some of you, okay, maybe you are dealing with somebody who are very stubborn. Maybe they don't want to listen to you. They don't like to listen to other people. They just want to do, and they just want to, even though they do a wrong thing, maybe, or maybe you see that there are some dangers or some problem that they will get if they do something, okay? And then you're trying to give an advice, or you are trying to warn them, but they don't want to listen. Maybe you are dealing with someone who is very ambitious or who is very stubborn, that they don't want to listen, they don't want to see, they don't want to hear, they don't want to know. All they hear is just their thoughts. Or maybe it is you, okay? Maybe you are being stubborn, maybe you are being so ambitious, maybe you are being like you are so strict into what you want. It is good, okay? But when you see that something not right, you also have to consider to see another option, or maybe you have to consider to hear what other people opinion. Maybe not following them, but maybe you consider some suggestion, some opinion to be, put you in a balance, so you see another option, so you be able to see another way. Maybe you just focusing yourself to see to one door, and then you keep trying to open that door, and then that door is not open, okay? But you are trying and trying, and you put all your energy to that door, okay? You're trying to open that door, you're trying to open the key, you're trying to break it out, you're trying to do that everything. You put a lot of your energy, you put a lot of your time, you put a lot of your anything, okay? But it doesn't open, and it's time for you to see another option, okay? Maybe there are some door that open wide for you, but you didn't see because you put all your focus to that door, to that way. Maybe, okay, maybe it can be a lot, it can apply to things, whether it is about relationship, whether it is about your financial, about your job, okay? Maybe you're working on something and it doesn't work. It's never worked. Maybe you got to try something else. Maybe you have to improvise. Maybe you have to see what other things that you can do. Maybe you start a new skill. Maybe you start a new approach, okay? Maybe you have to try a new way, something that maybe you never think about it. Or maybe there are someone who suggesting you about something. Or maybe there are some of the people who say something the same, okay? The same things about your situation. It's not only about relationship, okay? Maybe you hear your friend trying to suggest you about something, and then you hear the same kind of things. But maybe you're trying to against that every time, and you always find it's always lead you to some difficulties. Maybe this is the time for you to try to listen, and maybe it's not like literally following their suggestion, okay? But maybe you can take it and apply it into you can try to apply it in your own way. Or maybe it is it can give you some idea, it can give you some inspiration. It's not like you totally take that suggestion, that idea, what people opinion, like one whole thing, you swallow all the thing. No, but maybe it can inspire you to do something else, to take something else, to think about something else, okay? So it's a wide, it's not only about relationship, but also about work, also about your life, about anything. Because what I see in this card, okay, and I keep hearing that words when I shuffle the card: flexibility. Maybe you've been stubborn, okay? Maybe you've been uh like rigid, like you cannot change. This is what I think. This is how I think. And this is how I'm going to do it, you know. Okay, if it's work, it's great. It's fine. But if it's already like a few times, you're trying and trying and trying, and it doesn't work, it doesn't work, okay? Don't you think, don't you want to think about some ideas, some options, some other things, right? For some of you, probably for some of you, okay, Capricorn, maybe you've been you had some unpleasant moment in the past, okay? Maybe you've been dealing with some a person who manipulated you, who control you, who do some something not good to you, okay? And maybe it makes you have that trust issue. Maybe you see all other people the same. That like flexibility word maybe can apply to that situation. Maybe you've been alone for quite long time. Maybe for some Capricorn you've been alone for quite long time, and maybe you were maybe you think like everybody is the same. I always made a wrong person. I always like pulling a wrong person into to my life. Maybe you always fail. Maybe it just a maybe. Okay, maybe some of you always have this heartache, like people always betray you, or maybe people always do something bad to you, or maybe people lie to you. But not all of the people like that, right? So maybe it's time to pull down a bit your guard. Maybe this is the time for you to be like relax. Like take a deep breath and relax, okay? And see, and more playful. More playful. Don't be too serious, Capricorn. Sometimes I know that it's a bit hard for you to do that. For some of you, okay, not all of you again, because this probably not talking about all of the Capricorn in this whole world, okay, but maybe some of you have that problem about the flexibility, about this, about too serious, about not having a good joke, not having a good sense of humor. Maybe you get too sensitive when somebody talk to you, when somebody say about something, maybe you taking it too serious. And maybe for some Capricorn, what I see here, maybe you are stuck with someone and there are somebody who are there for you. Maybe you keep talking about your past relationship. Maybe you keep talking about someone else, okay, to your friend. This is for some of Capricorn. Maybe this friend have interest with you actually. That is why they always be there for you. They always listen to you. They always be by your side. They always stay on your side. They always like a basket case for you. When you throw all your problem, when you talk about other person, maybe for some Capricorn you have this person. And maybe you want to see how that person, maybe you now after, because I see here there are someone there, some Capricorn have that good person that always be there for them. Maybe you doesn't know because maybe you were too focused on your problem. Maybe you were too focused on someone, okay, and you didn't see that person. Maybe maybe you talk about how you miss somebody to your friend because you see them as a friend. What I see here, you see them as a friend, and then you talk to them, because you feel comfort when you talk to them, and you feel like they really understand you inside out, okay? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you now have some idea about that. I don't want to suggest anything. I'm just saying, okay? Or for some of Capricorn, maybe. Maybe you have this argumentation with somebody. Maybe it is your partner, maybe it is your friend. Maybe you going to have some argumentation with somebody. I also see that some of you, this is about work, have a financial, you probably need to make a decision. You need to make a decision about something, about a job or a work or a business or something about financial. Maybe you just start a new business, and then there are something that you have to make a decision. This card is suggesting. Okay, this is suggesting, not telling. Not this is not a solid, like you own your destiny. Okay, this is just a suggestion. Don't make a rush decision. You really have to really analyze it. You really have to really look deep and really careful on this decision, because you probably because if you make a right decision, it's going to give you a great success. Okay, it's a good, just make sure you make a good and the right decision about something in your work or in your financial matters. I see that some of you also have a friend who will need your advice. Some of you, okay, I see that some of you have a friend who've been stressful and really need your opinion, really need your advice. Remember, maybe for some of you only specific person, okay? But I see that there are a friend who's going to come to you to ask your opinion, to ask your suggestion. Maybe they come to your house, or maybe you go to their house. I see that there are some conversation, okay, but it is between you and your friend, okay. What else? Also, I see that some of you have to be careful with your metabolism. I hear gastric, okay. What else? And I see that maybe for some of you, you will got to go to some trip. You maybe want to visit someone, or maybe no. Yeah. You need to visit someone, or you will have to go to some trip over the ocean. Some trip. I see. I see. This is maybe not about. Maybe this is not about work. But maybe you need to meet someone, maybe your relative, or maybe for a holiday or something, okay? But I see some trip. But I also see the road trip too. Maybe you were going somewhere to attend something. Maybe there are someone, or maybe your relative, or maybe your friend, marriage or something like that, and then you've been invited, or maybe you're just visiting them. Okay, but I see also that some of you probably having some problem with some authority person, maybe about your job. Maybe some of you also having going to have an interview. Don't be nervous, relax. uh yeah, some of you will have something, um something, some problem with maybe your boss, or maybe you are dealing with somebody who are who maybe you are dealing with somebody who, like a bossy person. Okay, yeah, like a bossy, selfish, big ego person, person who over control everything, who want to take control of everything, who want um to conquer everything, something like that. Okay, okay, so a quick recap. Okay, move on, let it go, accept things that doesn't work, move on with your life. Okay, it is hard, but you have to move on with your life. Don't over control by your problem. Try to see another thing. If it, if what you do, it doesn't work for you, you have to be able to be flexible, expanding yourself, trying to see the big picture, accepting what doesn't work, what works for you. Be careful when you are doing a decision. See the friend who always be there for you. Open your heart, pull down a bit your guard, have trust to someone, to somebody, someone. Okay, get out from your head. Okay, relax, have fun, Capricorn. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. May this universe bless you. See you, Capricorn.